Okay, so I'm very excited about today's webinar. We're gonna talk about job ready. I'm sure you agree with me that perhaps the biggest challenge that faces humanity today, although there are a lot of challenges, is how we'll navigate the artificial intelligence era, especially in regards to jobs, in regards to skills, and in regards to income. Today, we're going to talk about job ready and how to help your region to address the skills gap with AI. So AI can be a challenge, but it can also be a bridge to a solution. So keep in mind, this is just an appetizer. It's a series of a number of webinars, and today we're going to focus mainly on showing you a concrete example on how we are changing things in places like, in this case, South Africa. But we will also navigate through North America, Asia, Middle East, and Europe. Now, why should you attend this? And I'm happy that we have you. There are a number of things, right? We talk about how you get those job-ready results, how your institution or you as an individual can deliver learning 4 times faster. And we are using artificial intelligence, and we are using extended reality. You will also see solution in actions. Today we're going to focus more on the why and the what, but in the coming series you'll be able to test it and actually get access to this tool yourselves as we progress. You also will be, as you participate here, one of the first 25 institutions that receive a free customized skills analysis, gap analysis, or what we call Syllabus Sync. So that's the offer. You'll be invited to submit one of your, let's say, flagship programs, whether it's Ally Health or Mechatronics, and we will generate a confidential report for you comparing the program's curriculum against the top 100 live jobs in your region. That's something we are willing to offer. Now today, this is the agenda that was originally presented, and we're going to deviate a little bit from it because I want to cover a deep dive, and that's going to take a bit of time. But overall, in the series, we're going to go through how we widen this chasm that's happened. So the skills gap used to be small, now it's becoming a 2 years curriculum. When it's approved, the job market already has moved out. So the lifespan of knowledge has shrank. We also want to talk about the old ways. The old ways is traditional slow curricular committees that keep you teaching, with many times yesterday's economy. And this is the structural issue that most of you have to live in. But you don't have to accept it. You can actually expand it. Now, how do we do that? We have what we call the Syllabus Sync, which is not just a software, but is a live pipeline to your regional economy. And I will explain very shortly how that works and step by steps. And finally, we're going to go to the offer. We're going to provide you an invitation to join us and to get this report for the first 25 participants. And you can choose the program, you can get a detailed alignment. And then, of course, we will take live Q&As as we move forward. So thank you for this introduction, and let's get going. We're going to talk about something very exciting today, which is Syllabus Sync. Now, what's Syllabus Sync? So on one side, you have what you learn in school. This is your curriculum. And on the other side, we have what a career requires. And we need to align the education with the labor market. And we do that to what E.ON generates automatically with the E.ON XR family called AI XR Micro Lessons. So the idea with these lessons that they are relevant, they actually lead to placement, and they are continuously adapted readiness. The reality today is quite dark. Graduates often lack in-demand skills that they need today. Employers said, I need to retrain them. They are not really having the competence I require. If you look, it's not so strange, but because the traditional way to create curriculum, it took 3 to 5 years to create one. That's the cycles, right? But job market changes every week. So students struggle to get hired. We've seen that. All the headlines talk about it. And employers waste time and money to retrain them. So what is the result? Huge waste. Delayed careers, wasted tuition, reputational drainage, etc., etc. So this is what we need to address head on. Now, how do you do it normally? Well, you can use things like marketplace. Content exists, but it's not aligned with the syllabus. You can use labor analytics. You get the insights, but you don't have an actionable thing for the faculty. You can say LMS. They deliver the content, but they don't decide what should be taught, nor do they give you the practical simulation and experiential learning you require. The missing piece here is a real-time decision system that links the jobs, the skills, and the lessons with experiential learning. And that's what we're going to look at. So let's look at Syllabus Sync. So let's break it down a little bit. There's a dynamic XR alignment between curricula and job demand. This happens constantly. There is a monitor of postings in your zip code, in area that you want to look for job, and proposes proactively micro lessons. The faculty approves and deploys this instantly with the LMS they have. So this system is not foreign from the LMS, it's integrated with the LMS, although it provides much more. And it keeps the programs current, job relevant, and accreditor ready. Pretty exciting, right? Let's go one layer down. I like to keep always, when I look at a program, to ask the simple question: why, what, and how? So why? We want to stop teaching yesterday's skills. Let me repeat. Stop teaching yesterday's skills. This is so important because I see it again and again. Now, what is it concretely? The AI-driven pipeline generates these micro lessons linked to the syllabi. Okay? And how do we do it? We ingest job posting and frameworks within the geographical area that the student wants to work in. We map the skills graph, detect the gaps, and generate scoped lessons with outcomes and rubrics. Then we notify the faculty with the one-click LMS that this is ready. They review it, they approve it, and then it leads to student mastery. The architecture is quite simple. You have the career compass. This already exists today. You can go to EonXR, click, and it says career compass. You have the next component, which is the curricula analysis. This analyzer, this looks at the current curriculum that exists at the university or the academic institution, and then it compares it with the reality in the world, and then based on that suggested micro lessons, and then it also generates them. And then it also provides a dashboard for the faculty member, even for the students, how well they perform. So the Syllabus Sync is ultimately generated these lessons. And you can approve this with one click in LMS. So you have your LMS, your gradebook, your accreditation dashboard. It's all seamlessly integrated. Eon supports Canvas, Moodle, Blackboard, LTI components. You get a grade passed back to SIS, no parallel system. The feeds into credentials and accreditation is created automatically. And students, faculty, accreditors all see the alignment evidence. Now, this perhaps becomes more tangible if I give you some real-world use cases. So let me talk about example as a supply chain. All demand forecasting module. This is an AI demand forecasting module. This leads to higher placing. Let's talk about technical vocational training, electrical and electrician. He can learn a lockout, tagout safety drill. That can be a safer workforce. Let's talk about this lady to the right, a marketing MBA. She can use Gen AI ethics and creative briefs. This is something that is a new micro course that aligns her with the jobs that are in the market. Now, in all these cases, the skill gaps are closed in weeks, not years. And their CV suddenly looks very attractive. So what is the world looking before and after? Before, we have curriculum refresh, 3 to 5 years intervals. Gaps are detected, perhaps anecdotally. Lessons take weeks and months and are not simulation based, they're traditional. And the accreditation evidence is manual. You have to keep track on all this. With the syllabus, we have continuous alignment, monthly, quarterly, even weekly. You have data-driven skills mapping. You have auto-generated Excel microlessons. You have live dashboards that prove the job relevance. Okay, so in the end, it has to generate a return on investment. And we are measuring a number of things. Placement is very important, satisfaction, the retraining capabilities. But also, if you look underneath, the KPIs, the gap closure rate, the lesson adoption time, and the readiness index. How ready are they for this job? So those are some lagging KPIs, also placement rate, employer satisfaction, etc. Now, I would like to end with a call for action for you. Contact us today so we can do you a demo. You will be able to see how we take static programs into living job-aligned systems, to experience pilots with one department, and then you can scale it institution-wide, and to measure the outcomes. So let's do it. Welcome. Okay, so now you noticed I changed the shirt. We're going to talk about a concrete example on how you can apply this. So my focus today will be Global South, but throughout our series we're going to go to Global North, to North America, to Europe, etc. So let's start with South Africa. We've been working there for 15 years. And let's address this challenge: skills, jobs, and income. And how we transform South Africa's future to TVET. E.ON already is engaged with a number of technical vocational schools, academic institutions. Now, there is already, by the Minister of Education, a plan of what they want to do. So we are now expanding that through a partnership to NSF. But maybe take a step back and describe you a little bit the South African context. Why is TVET important in South Africa? Now let's look at the facts. 52% of workers are mismatched to jobs. This is a huge problem. In fact, youth unemployment is perhaps one of the highest in the world, in spite of South Africa spending $18 billion in education. And interesting also that the demand is, and the backbone for skills development are those technical vocational training colleges. And there's 290 of them plus in more than 9 provinces. Now, to align ourselves, we don't just use Syllabus Sync. We also consult with the National Skills Foundation, with Department of Higher Education, and we look at what the minister has said to us about occupations and high demands. That governs us and our input to Syllabus Sync. But we don't stop there. We keep adding things that are particular for different zip codes. So for example, in eastern South Africa, around, let's say East London, right? The demand is very different from Joburg or from Tshwane. So we look at this and we look at how to respond to the market. Now, overarching this is our solution. The ability to take any course material or any topic and create in less than 100 seconds an immersive simulation-based experience. And if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to go to our videos and to see the magic. I'm not going to do that today. The other important thing is the brainy avatars, the ability to have a tutor that remembers you, knows you, is available 24/7, and can guide you through this personalized learning path towards your goal. Now, and then is to develop, which we do together with colleges, personalized real-world simulation for healthcare, for engineering, for ICT, for energy, etc. The idea is to get equitable access to all provinces to this solution, and to use what every single student has in their hands, which is a tablet or a phone. So there's 7-8 billion devices, and South Africa has plenty of them. With that comes also $50 billion plus worth of equipment in 36 million assets. That is virtual equipment, but I got some sneezing here going on. But this equipment is available at the fingertips of everyone that has a phone. And that allows us to integrate at scale. So provide immersive tools inside workshops, going beyond the labs. Let's say if not all labs can be equipped with all the equipment, the virtual component has it. Content that is aligned with this qualification, and as I said earlier, equitable across the different provinces. Healthcare, and nurses specifically, is a problem and challenge area across not only South Africa, across the world, I would say. We need to prepare not only hard skills, but also soft skills. How to handle patients, elderly people that may have dementia. How do you interact with them? Prepare nurses, pharmacists. Understand realistic anatomy and hospital equipments. Train on ventilators, equipment that you may not have access everywhere, but you have it virtually. And then connect the hospital's needs with what we are teaching in the schools. Engineering, that's something very warm to my heart. It's about civil, mechanical, electrical, energy is in demand. Connect this with TVET learn practices in realistic digital twins that supports the green energy transition infrastructure. And then ICT, this is a big exploding area. Cybersecurity is in tremendous demand. We have special premium courses developed in that area, data scientists, AI specialists, etc. So there's a lot of things here that, especially adapting even people how to use these AI tools, is in high demand. Renewable energy and green jobs is an area that there's a tremendous demand. Solar, wind, electric vehicle maintenance. South Africa has a plan for transitioning to this, what I call just energy transition. We have courses into this area, and we can help create simulations as applicable. Robotics, advanced manufacturing. South Africa is one of the biggest manufacturers, for example, in the vehicle side. And the new jobs here, the new type of robots that are coming out, require hands-on interaction and learning and practice how to handle them. So that's what I mean by preparing learning for the fourth industrial revolution. Food security and agriculture. There is a new way to conduct agriculture that's more efficient, requires less water resources, is more, the crops are more resistant. But you can implement this knowledge in a small farm. You don't have to do it in a large scale, and you can foster also entrepreneurial growth. Construction infrastructure, there's a lot of need there. I'm traveling, I've been to South Africa maybe 60 times, and I see how to train bricklayers, electricians, plumbers. They are very scarce. Digital practice that reduces on-site risk. It's one of the most dangerous occupation you can have. That's an area we help. Now, an area people all can play. Yes, Dan, we can train all this, but there's not enough jobs for the youth. And that's where the third component, which we call the wealth weaver, that has 7 steps, comes for entrepreneurial SMEs. If you want to read more about that, just Google Eon Wealth Weaver. I have a whole 1-hour series around that. So we not only encourage graduates to start business, but we help them. We have something called a Wayfinder, where we identify within your community who has that talent as an entrepreneur. We have an entrepreneur school, which is a 6-month period, 3 months practice. Today's students cannot even get a practice or internship. That's included. And we also have something called let's say, entrepreneur guide, where we take them to the 8 steps from the idea all the way to product and monetization. We have a marketplace where they can sell their products. We also have something we call the Brainies, your mentor that can help you and guide you throughout that process. Inclusiveness is the key of our offering, and the fact that we are now rolling this out in 9 different locations, and in some places you may not have internet or very low bandwidth, or devices are offline enabled. We can work in local languages, and we can work with solar power when electricity is scarce or intermittent. Throughout this, we need to track the success. we need to track the impact, and we need to measure that versus the targets that the governments and the community has set. And for that, we provide a very complex, I would say complex, very sophisticated analysis. Every move you make, every step you take, we are monitoring you, and we can share that information with the students to see how well they've done and where they should do better, with all stakeholders, from teachers to the people that are helping with the funding. Ultimately, we are creating a national skills, we are realizing, I should say, the national skills vision in terms of pathways for skills, jobs, income, and growth. So in the next session, which will come in a second, I will show you some concrete examples on how we actually roll this out. Thank you. Okay, so now let's go from the theory to the practical aspect. What are the bottom line values that we can provide? In terms of skills, which is the main focus of today, we have evidence that you can have 4 times faster learning. And this is not only substantiated by us, but also by third parties. Let me give you an example.
We have conducted a study on virtual reality learning. We found learners in VR required less time to learn. They had higher emotional connection to the content, higher confidence, and were less distracted during the training.
So what we are seeing here is more confidence, more engaged, increased focused. And this, I'll give you just an example. This comes from Changi Airport. They compared our system with their previous system that was called AVIS. And they looked at 3 things. What's the learning efficacy? What is the integration capability according a range of different devices? And what is the automation aspect of capturing the data and assessment? And here are the facts. Learning efficacy doubled and learning time half. So previously, with their existing solution, they had on average 4.8 score after 60 minutes of 12, so less than half. With our system, 10.2 of 12. Learning, this was done in their case, 60 minutes. With our solution implemented, 23 minutes. So that was a great issue. The other issue was inclusiveness. How can this be accessible for any device? In our case, we were able to test this on multiple devices. Samsung phones, iPhone, Google Pixel, Oppo, etc. It worked on everything. Another important thing is with their system, they had to do manual assessment, have actually people to capture how well people did. In our case, it's 100% automation and entry in assessment results. And this goes across the board. We see this in education. We see this in enterprise. Los Angeles Community Colleges, just not too long ago, 97 faculty members created 900 courses, and which was used tens of thousands of times now, and the faculty saw a significant, 80% show significant increase in students' learning outcomes. University of Business of Technology in Europe developed 20 programs and engaged 16,000 students and created more than 4,000 courses using this approach with the benefits I described before. Centex, they've seen up to 97% employability rate, which is skyrocketing. A city in Thailand saw K-12 students that created more than 1,500 experience for students, which increased 35% the student comprehension and doubled their engagement. In enterprise, we see Children's Hospital that have not long ago invested more than $2.2 million to enhance pediatric healthcare. They have heart modules. They have implemented this to reduce anxiety amongst children that undergo procedures with extremely good results. And they keep, I think we're on the 3rd years of engagement. Changi Airport, which been rated, I talked about just recently, they are rated today, I think the #1 quality airport has implemented this, and they've seen increased knowledge retention and decreased training time. And this can continue. We see it in transportation, SPS Transit. We see it in tourism with Sandals Corporations with very large success. So medical is a passion area of ours that we work with. And we have testimonials now literally from across the world. We are now engaged in more than 100 countries. And these testimonials span from places like Latin America, places like Africa, Vietnam, Romania. We see here, for example, Italy, Costa Rica, Papua New Guinea, Canada, etc., etc. So it's truly a global movement of taking advantage of this immersive solution for skills, jobs, and income. I'll show you one of them. This comes from El Salvador.
Hello everyone, I'm Everardo Rivera from ESEN in El Salvador, Central America. It's truly an honor for us to be part of the Eon Reality family and to establish an Eon XR Center here in our country. With the deployment of Eon Reality's cutting-edge spatial AI technologies, we are aspiring to transform education and training in our institution. The Eon XR platform enables immersive AI-driven learning experiences, providing incredible benefits such as scaling XR and spatial AI deployment to lots of learners, creating localized interactive content to improve engagement and retention, offering real-world skill simulations and AI-guided support for our students and workforce to develop their critical thinking, problem-solving skill, creativity, and teamwork. And last but not least, learning from your innovation within the Eon community and marketplace, and obviously when we develop our innovations to share them with you. By joining the Eon Reality Global Network, we are not only advancing learning outcomes, but also fostering a new era of immersive education and workforce development.
So that's just some of the partners that we've added recently. But let me finalize with going back to South Africa, because that's where we started our journey. And I'm gonna just show you a couple of examples of what's happening there. Over the last 15 years, we've been working with more than, I think, dozens so academic institutions, and with great success. Let me give you just some highlights. One of them has been with colleges in technical vocational training under supervision of Mercita, where we invested with them. During COVID, we had an engagement with the Minister of Education and rolled out this in multiple colleges across the country. We've seen these results combining the physical environment that you see here with physical capability, which they have, but it's limited to a certain area, to create digital twins across the region. Join us, so contact us today. You can send me an email at dan@eonreality, and we can get going. You don't have to wait for the big wave of AI to crush you. You can surf it today. Thank you. All the best.